Welcome you guys to Flavor of Riverside with Chef Robert Sevely. Today we're going to be doing tofu. That mysterious, soybean, white, spongy sort of mixture that a lot of people turn their nose up at. Tofu is a fantastic product that we should all kind of explore. Little history on tofu. It was made during the Ming Dynasty, they believe. So about 1,000 years ago or so, it was when they first started making tofu. And trust me, back then they weren't going, I think I want to quit eating meat and I want to be on some sort of, healthier diet. No, it was a way of getting more protein. And tofu is a complete protein. It is a great supplement as a meat product. And you don't have to be a vegetarian in order to enjoy it. I really like it. And I think I have some recipes for you guys to like today. For the dressing, now I didn't show you guys this because I really have to get it cooled down, but I have it right here already. And what's basically in here is a half a cup of soy sauce, half a cup of rice vinegar, seasoned rice vinegar. That has the sugar and the salt in it. And then it has, and this isn't actually measured out, but then it has about a cup of brown sugar. We have 8 tablespoons of sesame oil. And then we have like 2 or 3 garlic cloves and like 2 or 3 coins of ginger. Now people always ask me, what's a coin of ginger? Well, it's an actual measurement. And if I take my knife here and I cut off about 1/4 inch of ginger, that's a coin of ginger. If I chop that up, that's about a tablespoon. So 2 or 3 of these. Then we have some Thai chilies, okay, some really beautiful Thai chilies. They're the real thin, skinny ones. If you can't get this, you could always do jalapenos. You could always do serrano chilies. Those are a little bit more relatively available. And then lastly, which you can find in most like your Asian sections at your grocery store, is star anise. Not to be confused with anise or anise seed. This is star anise, and I like to refer to it as kind of like Chinese bay leaves because it goes into lots of different things, goes in whole, and then you pull it out. And it has, I hate saying black licorice, but it has this slight black licorice to it, and also this kind of earthy, sort of barky sort of flavor to it as well. Then we have coconut milk, so a can of coconut milk. And then we also have peanut butter, which I don't actually have out here. That's okay, but we have some peanut butter. So 1 can of coconut milk to about 1 cup of peanut butter, all right? And it needs to be like, your Jifs or your Skippies. It can be crunchy or it can be smooth, either one, but it cannot be fresh peanut butter because those separate. The regular peanut butter has like xanthan gum in it or some sort of emulsifier that keeps the peanuts and the oil emulsified together. And that's going to become our thickener in the sauce. So we add all of these ingredients to it that you're seeing right here. We bring those to a boil. We cook it for about 5 minutes. And then we add in the peanut butter and we whisk that in with a whisk. And then we let it come back to a boil. And it thickens, and I'll show you the thickness here. This is the thickness that we want. You see, it's a good thickness of a salad dressing right here, all right? It still has the chilies in it, and it has the ginger and everything, and I've already pulled out the star anise. Now, almost always, I'm using extra firm tofu. Now you'll see firm, and that would be fine for this too, but then you'll see medium, you'll see soft, and you'll see silk. The only difference between these tofus is how much water is still in the tofu. Have they been squeezed enough? So you're buying a lot less water, you're getting a lot more protein when you get the extra firm. So on its side here, I'm gonna go straight down, I'm gonna cut it in half. Then I'm going to cut it into 4s, okay, about like so. Then spin it and then cut 5 slices. So 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay. Bring my bowl back over and I place these cubes into the bowl. Then I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of soy and about 1/4 cup of sesame oil. All right. Now, we're going to get these tossed. And what I've noticed is if I start really tossing them like this, I break up all the tofu. So I just sort of spin it around in a circle till they're all coated. Now I can let these sit, and it's kind of nice to let these sit for about an hour. So now I'm going to pull these out of here, and they're going to go onto a sheet pan. And I have what's called a silk pat underneath here. That's what this is. You don't have to have one of those. You can use parchment, but the silk pat does kind of help you out a little bit to where, for one, they don't stick. For two, they tend to brown less on the bottom on the silk pat. When they're on the parchment paper, they're still really kind of touching the metal, and that metal heats up hotter than anything else. And so it kind of sears them more so on that one side than the rest of the sides. So this tends to be a little more even. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to take these over to the oven. I'm going to pop these into a 350-degree oven. Believe it or not, it takes between 40 and 50 minutes. Now, don't just set the timer at 50 minutes and walk away from it and start watching TV. Set a timer for like 30 and then come in and check them, okay? If you have to, give them a toss and move them around. Then set it for like another 10 and then another 10 until they're done, all right? And out of the oven they come. So this is our roasted tofu, all right? Now, these are still a little bit warm, but you can see how much stronger the texture is. And they're actually now a little bit on the chewy side. And they're beautiful. You know, I almost am surprised that they don't sell them like this already. And so these are ready to rock and roll. All right, for the rest of the pasta salad, what I'm going to do is here I have my farfalle. And these are actually mini bow ties, okay? Now, ingredients for this salad. Well, it's just a fun salad. I have roasted peanuts, okay? Get the unsalted ones. You're adding plenty of salt with the soy sauce, okay? So roasted peanuts. And then these are what are called wasabi peas. So they're like a dried out pea that has a little coating of wasabi on the outside. And so they're hot, but it's that horseradish hot. They're terrific and they're crunchy. Really nice. So that goes in. Then we have some red bell peppers. We could use green ones. We could use yellow ones. I really like the red. It adds a little color to this thing. Okay? That goes in. Then I have some broccoli slaw. And this makes it really easy on me. The broccoli slaw is nice and crunchy. It's not cabbage, so it's a little different. And then I have the carrots, and I do have some red cabbage in here. And then what this is it's the broccoli stems that the company has shredded, and then it goes into here. And they sell it in bags in your grocery store. And I definitely don't want all of this. We want more pasta than just about anything else. But I'm going to add like a couple of big handfuls of that. Good. All right, next is we have some bean sprouts. Bean sprouts are great for you. They're also a great crunch. So I'm going to add like 2 small handfuls of the bean sprouts, all right? For me, I like to take egg roll wrappers and I cut them into strips. And then I fried them off, once again, at 350 degrees. That's what temperature we want to fry things at. So I'm going to go in with like 1, 2 nice big handfuls of those. And then you can bag these up and you can save them as little munchies later on. So to this, I have like a little bit of cilantro that I'm going to pull off of here. Yeah, a little bit more than that. Okay. I'm going to set that down in front of me here. Then I have some mint. Okay. If you can find Thai basil is green leafed, but has purple stems. And the taste of it is mixed between mint and like Italian basil. So if you can't find it, do what I'm doing. I added a little mint, and then I have a little bit of Italian basil, okay? And all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of wad these up in my hand, just like so. And I'm just gonna run my knife through them once. What you could also do is just tear them if you want to. Or you could cut them with scissors. You know, that would be fine too. We just want them kind of broken down a little bit, not necessarily whole. One more quick thing with the knife is let's go in with a couple of Thai chilies. Okay, nice and little thin rounds. People won't know what hit them. All of a sudden they'll have this really nice smooth bite, and then all of a sudden one of their bites will be a little spicy. It'll be fun. Okay, last ingredient that we want to add, of course, last but not least, is our tofu. And so just sort of gather up your tofu here and add it in. And this stuff is great, ice cold, right out of the refrigerator. Really, really good. So now I need a pair of tongs, and we're gonna add some dressing. Now we don't wanna overdress it, so I'm not adding all of that. And if we need more, we will. So we get in here and we start tossing. You can see my bowl's almost not big enough. That was a whole pound of pasta, by the way. Got the tofu on top. Man, that looks really nice. Just kind of fluff it up a little bit. Looks absolutely beautiful. Just completely scrumptious. All right, so now, why don't I plate it up completely? And we're gonna get a nice big scoop of it. You guys will really see how pretty this looks. Make sure you get some tofu and some bell peppers. You know, you can always take if you're going to a party, always take those wontons, and they could add a few more right on the side for themselves. Really good. Gotta try that tofu. You know, by the pool, you know, Easter time even. Add something new. Give a little flair. Try this out even though you're putting steaks on the barbecue. Okay? We'll be right back. What I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna break up my my tofu and just get in here and just run it right through your fingers, okay? And it breaks up, and it almost, when it is broken up, pretty much looks like, I think, cooked turkey, okay? Obviously breast meat, white turkey, but cooked turkey, okay? All right, so that's all broken up. Next thing that I'm gonna add is a little bit of ranchero sauce. So this could be hot or cold. Right now that's a little bit warm. But I'm going to get some ranchero sauce in there. Then from here, I'm going to add all my ingredients for, like, you know, a salsa. So in goes some red onions. In goes some diced tomatoes. Then some chopped cilantro. In goes the avocado, as much or as little as you want. I actually am adding quite a bit to this. It gives it a nice creamy texture, is what the avocado is going to do for us. You know, normally avocado is like a garnish, but not today. Then our lettuce, and what the lettuce does is you're not going to taste lettuce, and this is romaine lettuce. I could use, say, iceberg lettuce that I finally shredded, you know, shredded almost like a coleslaw. But the lettuce is going to virtually disappear on us. And what it's there for is it holds the cheese. It holds all the ingredients together. So we have the cheddar, which we're going to add in here, and the jack cheese. And then we're saving a little bit for the top. Now I also want some lime. So I'm going to open that up. And I'll just squeeze that. Let's use our juicer. Get some of that in there. Get this other half in there. Then I want to hit it with some salt and pepper using kosher salt. Fresh cracked pepper that we did right before we started the video shoot. And we're mixing this together. And this is ready to go. What we do next is I'm going to take some ranchero sauce and add this to the bottom. So it's sitting on the bottom like so. Then I'm going to take my tortillas. And this does get a little messy, but it's also fun for the kids to mess around with and stuff if you have the young ones at home. And then what I'm going to do, and this is where it gets messy, we're going to take our tortillas and go into the hot ranchero sauce, just like so. That's heating them up a little bit more. You could go down like on a comal or something like that if you really wanted to, which those like heat up the tortillas and everything with a little bit of oil. But then we're going to add the filling. Remember, not too much. We're not trying to make little mini soft tacos, even though you could. And we're just going to roll this up. And then we set these in. Roll this up. Then we'll bring this over. We're going to add a little more ranchero sauce to the top, because this is good Coyote Trail stuff. Okay, right over the top. Then take our cheese, remainder of the cheese, and set this in here. Okay, if you want to garnish on top with, a little bit of cilantro or something like that, you can. Now, it's ready to go into our oven. Just kind of clean up the top if you need to, if it's messy at all. And we go into the oven. $350, roughly about like 15, 20 minutes. Heat up the inside, melt the cheese. Just set a timer, and then dinner's served. I'm sure they're ready. They're nice and piping hot. It's been about 20 minutes. Oh man, look at those. That looks delicious. Got the cheese all melted. Everything's just looks fantastic. Let's go ahead and plate this one up. Little bit of sour cream right on top. Maybe a touch more of the ranchero sauce right along the sides. And there is my tofu enchiladas with Coyote Trail ranchero sauce. Absolutely delicious. So next, we're going to be coming back with our tofu parmesan. See you in a minute. So the ingredients that we need for this is we need to do a breading station. So we have flour. I'm using coconut milk out of the can instead of eggs. All right, so I'm trying to make this. You can make this as vegan as you want to. You can utilize soy cheese, but we are going to use some cheese in this tonight. And then I need my breadcrumbs. For my breadcrumbs, I take basically, you could use stale bread. You could use panko. You could use the Italian breadcrumbs from the grocery store if you want. But I already kind of, because it's really loud, you just take bread and just throw it in there. Leave the crust on. And I like to use like a sourdough because it's sort of a rougher bread, a little bit. But then into this, I'm going to add some herbs, okay? So I have a little bit of rosemary that's going to go in. I have some thyme. And don't worry about these thyme stems. If I can break them like that, they're all set for that. And then here is some oregano. Marjoram would be good. You could do sage. You could do parsley. You could do tarragon. Just a whole bunch of different herbs if you want to. So those are the three that we're sticking to today. We want to add some Parmesan cheese. So this is some freshly grated Parmesan cheese. That goes in. And then, of course, a little bit of pepper and a little bit of salt. All right, let's get our top on. And let's mix that together really well. We'll just let the blade chop up the herbs for us. And you can see it's making it just ever so slightly the breadcrumbs green a little bit, which is perfect. It's beautiful. All right, that's good. So pull this off. And then we're going to take another casserole dish and put it into there. We're going to go flour, coconut milk, and then breadcrumbs. Now, of course, you know, typical breading station is going to be flour, eggs, breadcrumbs. If you went in any other order, you're just going to make a mess. So flour, coconut milk, breadcrumbs, ready to go. Now, I'm going to bring over my block of tofu. Here's my block of tofu. There again, extra firm. We always want to be using extra firm for these recipes that I have today. And we want to cut this about 1/2 inch thick. Any thinner than that, and it gets extra brittle. You know, it's just really easy to break it in half. And so we're going to go about 1/2 inch thick, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. So that's 4 pieces, 5, 6, 7. All right. Now, you can cut this all ahead of time. You can't really bread ahead of time. This is one of those only dishes that you need to basically do it and go. All right. To test the oil, how hot it is, we're going to take like a little pinch of breadcrumbs and add it into the oil. And that's looking exactly perfect. We don't want it to get too dark too fast. So we're going to get a little bit more heat under this, about medium, medium high, somewhere in there. Then we're going to take our tofu. We want to season the tofu, salt and pepper. Okay. Then we're going to go into the flour. And get all 7 pieces all floured up. And what this is going to do is the flour and the coconut milk, it's going to create like a glue. Okay, so then the breadcrumbs stick to it. So then into the coconut milk and out and into the breadcrumbs. Out and into the breadcrumbs. And from here, sort of take it, put it on there, and then I kind of pack it on. Okay, pack it on. Just like so. All right. Now, I'm going to take these and go right into the oil. Get rid of this. Grab our fish turner. It's the one that I like to use. The one that's real flexible, allows the grease to escape. And I just sort of watch these. And what I do is I watch the edges of them. And as the edges, the part that I can see that's touching the oil, starts to brown, I know that the whole underneath is ready to go. Now remember, these are fresh breadcrumbs. They can be a little bit stale breadcrumbs too. And stale doesn't mean that they have mold on them. It means that they're going hard. They're losing their moisture. It's like stale crackers. Okay? So these stale breadcrumbs, remember, toast burns really easy, like just a piece of toast. So these breadcrumbs are going to burn really easy too. So be careful. All right, I can see one over here that's starting to turn a little bit. We'll take a look, and look at that. Look how golden brown that is. Absolutely beautiful. Let's let those other ones go another minute here. The cheese gets nice and crispy. Everything gets golden brown. You have this nice texture of the tofu on the inside, and then you have this nice crispiness on the outside. Almost like a mozzarella stick. You know, it's not as chewy as a mozzarella stick, but almost like a mozzarella stick. It's going to be really, really good. So then flip this one over, and we can just start going through these. I've actually had customers tell me that this is the best they've ever had tofu before, is done in a tofu Parmesan. And I just take that as a huge compliment. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to bring a sheet pan over to pull these out and place these on. And then we have some fresh sliced mozzarella. Okay, I just went ahead and I sliced this ahead of time. So the fresh sliced mozzarella is going to give you the stringiness now that maybe you're actually looking for. It's really good. Then the other thing that I have is a little bit of marinara sauce that's right here. And this is homemade marinara sauce that I do here at the store. Really good stuff. Basically consists of wine and onions. I actually put carrots in it. So now that these have gotten good and crispy on that other side, I'm going to pull these, starting with that first one that I flipped over. If you can remember, that one was right here. That one, this one. That way they've all had that same amount of time on the opposite side. We pull all of these. Then from here, I'm going to take my fresh mozzarella, go right over the top of each one of these. Just like that. Got our final two here. Pull these, shut your pan off so it doesn't just start burning. More mozzarella on top. All right, now into the oven, okay? 350 degrees. Remember, all we're really trying to do is melt the mozzarella, but it will heat up the inside. We're not trying to brown anything or, you know, everything's brown enough. So into the oven. All right, it's been about 5 minutes. Let's check on these. I think I had the oven a little bit high, and so my cheese may have browned a little bit. Yep. Which is beautiful. So these can even, be careful, but they can even go underneath the broiler, okay? So they look beautiful. So now we're going to take a plate, going to get a little bit of this marinara sauce down onto the top there. We're going to take some of these, like place one there. And one right there, and that is your tofu Parmesan with fresh mozzarella and marinara sauce. Serve this maybe with a little bit of pasta, and you have a fantastic dish. You guys are gonna love this. Please, please give it a try. All right, thanks a lot, you guys, for joining me for this tofu class. I know it's gonna be an adventure for you guys at home, but please take that adventure. So we have the tofu Parmesan, which you're going to absolutely love. We have the tofu enchiladas with the Coyote Trails ranchero sauce. And we have the roasted tofu Thai peanut pasta salad. Fantastic. I'm ready to eat. I'm ready to go. So, hey, thanks a lot, you guys, from the Flavors of Riverside and Chef Robert Sevely. We'll see you guys next time.